talking without my microphone again, because that normally is what happens. So, let me go ahead and start the intro one more time. Welcome, everybody, to Interview Thursday. My name is Matthew Colt, and I have with me from the Netherlands, Guy Bielderman, an excellent chap who I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking with over the past month. So, Guy, go ahead and kick us off. Go ahead and talk about who you are and what it is you do.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Guy Bielderman. I'm from the Netherlands. Actually, what I do, well, I'm a fanatical chess player. I love the game, and I work as an IT guy for the biggest criminals there are, namely the IRS of the Netherlands. But love my job, love the way, and I also love my chess. I love doing it. I also stream a bit. It's still a bit inconsistent, but we'll get it working.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I know that I've actually been on your streams before, and honestly, when it's going good, it looks great. So, go ahead and let us know how you got involved with Florida Chess Live, and yeah.
Well, it actually happened. I bought a course on Chessable called The Dark Knight Rises of Brian Tillis, henceforth named our Overlord.
Yep, exactly.
And well, I liked it. It was completely different what I used to play. I loved it. And I noticed a few gaps in its book. So I offered, all right, can I help you with it? I love doing that work. And well, one thing led to another. And like, oh yeah, nice. And yeah, do this. And then I got involved into you. And then like, hey, Guy, you want to do a stream with us? Like, I would love to.
Yes.
So I got in contact with you. We hit it off right straight away. Same type of person, completely whack jobs. And we love it. We wouldn't have it other way. No. Like, it's just like, the metal band AC/DC?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I play in its twin sister called ADHD, when you're just going like, I'm on the highway to, oh, look, a cat.
And this is pretty much our conversations every time we hit it up. So
yeah, it's my whack job. I also help Matthew a bit with his chess repertoire.
Very, very much. And I really love the Jobava London that you helped me. It gives it like nice sharpness, some different dynamic play, which is not,
Yeah, you are a type of player who doesn't need like, we go from a structure to a good position and then an attack. No, you really just throw in the monkey wrench. If it needs be, a monkey bird.
All right, let's not go into the monkey bird just yet. But for now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about your chess upbringing. What was the first tournament that you got into? What age you were? And
oh God! Oh, you have to.
Yeah, we're going way back.
Oh yeah, come on! I'm 41 years old. I have to go back when I think I was 13 or 14. Yeah, I actually learned chess when I was. Let me think. It was 8. I was 8 or 9. I learned it via a television program in the Netherlands. They broadcast it on our public access. And I didn't know there was a chess club. So it was until I was 13, I came at a chess club. And yeah, it was an instant hit. Within 1.5 years, I went from the youth division immediately to the adults. And my first tournament was... Oh yeah, it was the Open Youth Chess Tournament of the Netherlands. It was played in the City Hall of Hengelo. Oh, it was a brilliant time. All right, first time I got 1 out of 9, and that 1 point was off a bye.
Oh,
that bad. Oh,
I mean,
God.
at least to the point.
At least I had a point, but come on, I got my. It was delivered on a silver platter. Oh.
Now, in the segment of Psychology of Competition, though, that type of loss probably lit a fire under your buttons. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah. And the first game we're going to look at that actually has that. This is a nice, good segue to get into our first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it.
Is I believe it was 2 years ago. I played into the Open Tournament of the Netherlands. It's like they got a few rating tournaments, but they got one big Open Tournament. But you need to be at least 2,100 to get into that, or 2,000 if you're a youth player.
Okay.
Or there's 3 possibilities, is to have scored 7 out of 9 in the highest rating tournament.
Okay.
So those are pretty good players. They know how the pieces move and everything else.
Right.
And it wasn't going good. Oh God, I got wonderful positions, and I threw that win out of the board. I threw that one out of the window. It was terrible. So at the end of before the rest day, I had 0 out of 5.
Okay.
Like, oh God. Well, thinking, all right, I got a rest day, and looking at the tournament schedule, I got 2 days of rest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just relax, do nothing, and we'll try again.
Right.
Then the tournament director called, like, we can get you into a game if you want to. Like, okay, I'll rather play than do nothing. And he told me the player, and lo and behold, it was one of our former youth members of my chess club. And I know exactly how he plays against my beloved system, the English.
Mm-hmm.
I am a dirty chess player. I love playing the English. Why? Simple fact is, I'm not going to give black any opportunity to fool around or like get into major theories. Pieces are going to stay on the board, and I'm going to play with all of it. There is not going to be any fun. So, of course, the first move is, of course, c4. I love the move. Mm-hmm. I actually have to give a little thank to Michael Marin, the books he done on that, wonderful books. That actually got me started on the English. And it's like a retirement home. I'm never going to leave. So this is a little youth player. He's now 2,300, I believe, in FIDE. So he's like 18 years old, and he's stronger than me. Mm-hmm. But thank God not there.
Yeah, but at the time he was actually younger, obviously.
He was younger. He was about 15 or 16. Mm-hmm. And he was, on overall, I believe, a bit stronger than I am. Mm-hmm. But disadvantage, he is lazy. Therefore, he plays simple systems, and he played a normal system against me with the black pieces against my English. And I knew this. Mm-hmm. This is when prep work also worked, because I went into the preparation like, all right, what the hell did he play against me last time? Mm-hmm. And I went into the database like, look, like I found a game of Kramnik. But I wasn't completely agreeing with Kramnik with his move orders.
Okay.
So grab, of course, the engine, because, well, hell, why not cheat when you can? Mm-hmm. Because then it's allowed. And I went into the engine, and I found a nasty move. We're going to get to that little nasty move. It's on move 10. Okay. So first things first, he's going to play b6 because he wants a bit more offbeat system against my English. Mm-hmm. So he's like developed his bishops. I take the center, of course. And he plays e5. There are systems with e6 as well. This is called the English defense, what he's playing, or Owen's defense. Mm-hmm. And is actually based on, he wants to put pressure on my center. But in this move order, there is no way he can put pressure. So I knew he was not going to play it, so he played another system. Mm-hmm. This is actually also recommended by FM Yuri in his course on the accelerated Queen's Indian. Mm-hmm. Oh, it has something. So I went into a game. I found a game in 2013.
Now, before we continue on, just real quick, are you more of a strategic long-term player or a tactical player?
Actually depends on my mood.
Okay.
If I am in a very foul mood or completely hungover, I am quite tactical, and I will grab the kitchen sink and throw it at you. Mm-hmm. But in normal ways, like if I'm like, I'm in a good place, I'll strangle you to death. I'll just go slowly strangle you. I let you suffer.
All right.
And the longer I can make you suffer, the happier I am. Mm-hmm.
So now that we're finally getting into the nitty-gritty of this opening, let's go.
Yeah. So Kramnik against Morozovic, 2013. Mm-hmm. So we are following this game to a point. So knight c6, of course. Now d3, bishop c5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't want to put my bishop on e2, so I'm going to put it on g2. Mm-hmm. Knight e7. Castle, d6. Now let's threaten the bishop. Hero prevented. Well, normally Kramnik went with knight h4 in this variation. Mm-hmm. But I found a little nasty move. It's actually a bit of a waiting move, but it has a nasty little thing. What is the major move black wants to play in this position?
Black or white?
Black.
Black, probably A4.
Well, that will get chopped up instantly.
Okay. I mean, that's probably the move they want to get at some point.
Yeah, and how about they want to play this one?
F5, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a big one.
After this move, and this is a deep analysis, F5 isn't good for 5 whole moves. It needs to be completely prepared.
Jeez, okay.
And he is lazy. Of course, youthful players, so they don't want to sit back like I want to take it. No. Of course he doesn't. So what does he do? Yeah, he rips it in. All right, little boy, you're going to get it. I'm going to take that one. And you're thinking like, oh, you're opening the center, and his bishop is going to wait and see. So he wants to attack it. He could have taken it, but here comes the little rub. I'm going to put in a knight into the center.
Because now that there's no captain.
Yeah. So if he goes back and tries it, cuck. I am going with my knight into this point. My bishop defends it. And don't forget, my queen can come into the game.
Some monster attack going.
Yeah, so that's not possible. So he played, queen c8, I want to take it. Go ahead, take it.
Now,
take it.
As a person who understands English not too deeply, but enough to see it as more of a slower game, seeing so much spice is really cool. Just from one move.
Well, it's just like everybody says, this Sicilian is extremely aggressive. Have you ever looked at the French? That thing is aggressive. The same is for the English. It doesn't look aggressive, but it is aggressive. It's just like a big fat hippo, just like me. We're lazy. You look like we can't work, we can't run. You're like, get us mad, and you will see what happens. It's the same idea with this as well. You're going to see a lot of English games as well in this. Those were actually the best games I could find purely for psychological reasons, not to pump up my ego, because my ego is as big as the universe, so it doesn't need any more pumping up.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So knight g5 is actually this aggression, because normally everybody thinks English is slow, it's aggressive. But it can take its time. Ever heard of the chess player Viktor Korchnoi?
Yes.
Yeah, the great escape artist. His favorite opening was the English and the French, also the Caracan. He loved getting openings where he can eventually, I'm good, and if you want something, you need to attack, or you're already better. I'm already better. I'm going to force you. Come on, move. So eventually the player has to come all out, and you just strangle him. It's actually he has a nice life story. He was an absolute rebel in the chess world.
Interesting.
Because he lived in Leningrad during the German siege. So he was already a good fighter, but he also defected from the USSR. This is one of the, I believe, the absolute number 2 player in the world who never became world champion. He had 3 chances, never became world champion.
Right.
So he has and the dude was, even when he's it was in his 80s, he was in the top 100 of the world still. Even in old age, still feisty and wanted to fight. Right. Wonderful dude. But coming back to the game, I, of course, played knight g5 because, where does my knight want to come? It wants to come in here. I have a nice little square here. But he takes my pawn. Okay. But now I'm going to develop with tempo. Just look at that. Look at that. Oh, wonderful.
Just straight up attack. Let's go.
Yeah, then it's okay. So he tried to be funny. I can attack too. All right, sidestep. Now he needs to oh dear, my queen is under attack. So he actually tried to bait me into this. He's there is a way of doing that, with knight d5. Okay. I can play knight d5 here. That blocks up the bishop and threatens the queen and everything else. But how do you bestly deal with players who can be quite aggressive? who are young. How do you deal with them when you get an advantage?
Usually just try to trade it into a technical endgame.
Deny them the opportunity of battle. Deny them the ability to fight.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
That's what I did. Mm-hmm. I took. Well, of course he has to take. Good night. He actually resigned here on move 16.
Wow.
Because this bishop is dead. Because there is a queen coming on e2, there's a bishop coming on e3, and he has no way of getting rid of my knight. Mm-hmm. So he's dead. So he already said, like, I'm done. It's like, and then my tournament went better. I had, let's see, and we had 3 more games. Like, I had 2 more draws and a win in the end. So I started with 0 out of 5, ended with 3 out of 9. Mm-hmm. That was quite good.
So talking about how preparation works, in this case, you had full confidence going into the game, good to go, not afraid of an attack.
When you, especially with the English, when you know what the opponent is playing, everything, you get positions, you know. This is what Grandmaster Michael Marin also addressed in his English book. Like, the English has a few advantages. There are no real good counter gambits against it. Sidelines doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if your opponent knows you play the English, because if you play the English regularly, you are known with the positions. You know how these positions work. So eventually he gets out of the opening, gets into the middle game, but then the plans must come. And you know these plans a lot better than your opponent. And that's why also the English is a world champion weapon. Remember game 6, Fischer against Spassky?
Vaguely.
That was the breaking point actually in that match. That's the first time Fischer actually game ahead against him, because after 5 games it was 2.5. And game 6 he just played 1c4. It became a transposition to something else, which they know. But Spassky eventually just surrendered while standing up and applauding him. That was beautiful.
Yes, one moment, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know what happened with your microphone there, but it just went insane.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but it's much better now, so.
Okay.
It was just like, it grew and grew and grew.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but you're good now. Let's go ahead and we can continue on.
Okay, well, it's then starting to match my personality.
There you go.
One with the universe. Eventually expanding.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully it woke everybody up. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I know it's Christmas Eve, and I know you guys are probably having hopefully a great time at home, family, maybe just chilling. But we had Guy Bielderman here from the Netherlands, who is going to be showing us even more games, all about psychology of competition. So let's go ahead and do this as a segue from when preparation works to...
We're going to in when everything goes well.
All right, cool.
All right, now
that's assuming that last game didn't go well, right?
No. Everything goes well in this game. The last game was also a win. This is a game actually we played at the National Dutch League, and we were going into the last round. We were the number 1, but the number 2 was 1 match point behind us, and they had the easiest opponent. That was going to be like a 7-0 victory for 7-1 victory or an 8-0 victory for them. Okay. We knew that they're going to steamroll those bastards. They're dead. So we had to win. So tense. Like it was a real tense day that day, but it went well for me and eventually also for the team. Because I can't remember anything after the evening meal we had, because alcohol. Right. So, of course, it's going to be in English.
And to set the stage a little bit more here, in a team environment, how is your approach in preparation, during game, and so on?
Yeah, well, I'm competitive. I like being competitive, but I'm not like I want to win everything. I want to be good at chess, but I'm also gracious when needs be in competition. Okay. But that competitiveness gets boosted to the absolute max when I have to play in a team. I am then the beast that everybody warned you about. I don't take prisoners. Then I go really deep into my prep work. Okay. It's like if I have like let's say like next Saturday I have a game. Then 2 weeks before that I already start looking at every opponent I can handle. Like what do I get? The entire prep work gets done. I get like within a week I can solidify into like okay I know this. Then I go through every opening, every opponent, and it's like it goes up to let's say the 2 days before that. The Thursday, that's the last final thing. Mm-hmm. Friday, I just go, gonna take a rest. Usually in Holland, I go to a hotel because I don't like to travel in the morning to the playing area. Mm-hmm. So, and if you're in the Dutch league, sometimes and for our standards, it's far. Because we're a small country, so like we have to go to Amsterdam. That's like 1 hour and 15 minutes or something like that. Right. For you, it's like peanuts. I know, America, big. But so I usually go to an hotel. I relax. Before that, I just simply relax. Mm-hmm. Make sure that I sleep well because I need to be sleeping well. If not, I'm cranky and can't concentrate.
Okay, so it's more important to focus on self as opposed to team.
Yeah. First. Yeah, and that I am in the best form that I can be, and I will fight a lot harder in a team. I don't care if I'm in a losing position or it's like I will keep on fighting till the bloody end.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if it's in a team match, if it's just like me personally playing like no, this lost up. Hey, well done. Okay. You've won. I'm a bit more agreeable, but not in a team match. Okay. So it was tense. We had a team against us, but we normally should beat, but they did the gentleman thing, and they came at full strength at us. Like, all right, good, because they had nothing to play for. They played for nothing actually because they couldn't lose, they couldn't be demoted, they couldn't be promoted. Mm-hmm. But they came with their full strength, so that was nice. So we get the most classical response against the English. Mm-hmm. No, and I do like the Sicilian, but I like playing it with a tempo up.
Right.
So I'm going into the standard English here. This is the G3 systems, knight f6, and we have a reverse dragon, which is actually the most classical way of fighting with black. Well, these are all standard moves. Knight f3, knight f4.
Is that one extra tempo that valuable?
Yes. Okay. It's very, very valuable. Remember in like the Sicilian dragon, if you played with black, say hello to the Yugoslav attack. Okay. Yeah, that attack with like f3, g4, h4, h5, mm-hmm. They're just going to sack everything at the board. And like, it's here, it's not the case because you're already ahead one tempo, mm-hmm. and you can get, you are fighting actually for the center, and black is just trying to put a position there. So that tempo difference has a lot. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Brian did mention this about 2 or 3 weeks ago in one of his videos. He does on YouTube as well. He mentioned it like, there is a difference with that one tempo.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and guys check out Palm Beach Chess on YouTube if you want to go ahead and check out awesome openings and in-depth analysis from Brian Tillis. So, all right, go for it.
No, this one. No. Hey, he needs to be promoted. Now, normally you play like bishop e7, and you got a lot of variations here, like a3, d3. I actually play bishop b1. Has to do with like if they go into the main line here, I play b4. Mm-hmm. I actually try to get b4 a bit more in because in the way that in this type of English is played, b4 is actually your break move. Okay. And now the main line is actually a6. You can take on b4 because then the e5 pawn will fall. Mm-hmm. So it's like a6 and a3, and this is the absolute main line in that variation. Okay. And then comes d3 and b4. It's just a little bit of move order trickery. But he didn't play bishop e7, he played bishop e6. Now, normally, I didn't know the theory at the moment then. I couldn't figure it out. I was too tense. Okay. I was thinking like, all right, I know I should be playing d4, but I don't know exactly how it goes. So I chickened out. I went like, it's not a bad move. It's not like I'm losing advantage. I'm just not taking my advantage. Okay. and I'm giving him to get back into the main line. So normally I would have played this if I knew it at the moment. And this is actually a very deep line. Can you see how weird and wacky this becomes?
It's already getting very sharp.
Yeah, this is, and you need to know the theory in this. Mm-hmm. This is actually one where you need to know the theory and understand that you eventually win this pawn and you're going to push the center. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't remember it, so I played along. Now, normally, bishop e7 would have been back to the main line. Like, all right, known theory, I'm a happy camper. He does this. Excuse you? Huh? What the? Huh? All right, you can already move your bishop. So
one of these dark squares is going to get weak.
No, not one. All.
All.
Yeah, all of them are going to get weak. Like, all right, he wants to develop his bishop to G7. Like, yeah. I know these type of systems, they're quite good in, say, like the reversed close Sicilian against my English. That's where this actually is good, but not here. And now comes like, all right, what are you going to play? This is not known. And now it comes where everybody in opening books and every teacher says, don't remember moves. Remember the ideas behind it. What do you want to achieve with the move? Now, that's what I came here as well. So I went into the think tank. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking like, okay, what the hell does he want to do? Well, he wants to go bishop g7. And then he wants to short castle. What do I usually play always against this? I play b4. I want to push the pawns. Mm-hmm. Push him, baby. So I push the pawns. And remember, even if he tries to take it here, it's always this. It's always this. Like, no matter what you do, you lose this pawn, and I gain these center pawns. Mm-hmm. That's where the advantage of English lies. You're going to get the center eventually.
Yeah.
So he didn't take it. He played bishop g7. Like, all right, I got one pawn moving. Let's push him a bit more. Mm-hmm.
And
now he went.
This is fundamental in the opening stage. You know, your opponent's not castled. You are. Start attacking. Slow him down.
Yeah. Now, knight d4 is a very good move. This is actually a standard move in the system, but it is a good move because it controls the center. It holds everything down. Mm-hmm. And I cannot take advantage of it. I can't trade down or anything to create weaknesses. That's not possible here. I can't even really go attacking the knight, because if I do it like here, he'll take, I have to take, and then now come on, this field becomes weak.
Right.
It's actually too difficult to get anything out of it. So I'm thinking like, well, I got another pawn that usually is the problem in the normal lines. Like, I can't move that pawn. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to move the pawn, but I'm also going to say like, all right, now bishop a3 looks a nice move for me. Now he doesn't like bishop a3, so he puts in, all right, queen e7, like, he prevented it. Okay. And like, all right, pawns are for one thing, shove him down the enemy's throat.
Yeah.
a5. All right, let's move the pawn.
And he's still not castled.
No, he's not castled. All right, a6. Take it. Take it. Come on, take it. No, he doesn't take it. He goes there. I'm like, okay, you don't want it. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, try to take it again, because then this little thing gets really powerful, because take a look at all these nice white fields. Like, he doesn't want that. But then he made an error. Yeah. Now, I have to admit that I did not.
Microphone again.
Oh, God. All right, probably this thing.
It's all good.
Yeah, like, I blew up again. This move is actually something that comes along a lot in the system. And you can't be like, oh, I'm just going to develop. Mm-hmm. Because say like you do something like this.
Yeah.
Like, looks a normal move.
Mm-hmm. It looks great because you might be threatening.
Yeah.
This, da-da-da.
Yeah. Cuckoo. Uh-oh. Bye-bye, peace. Because then this one comes and this one is under attack. Mm-hmm. Like, ooh, that's not nice. So back to f5, like, okay. And I almost fell for it. Like, oh, pump the brakes. And I'm thinking like, oh, hold it. I'm seeing a move. And this is how you can think in, like, you need a plan. You need an idea of where do you want your pieces to go. In your mind, you can simply say, I want this piece here. Or here. How am I going to get there?
Like in Bug House. Where
Yeah.
you just place a piece, and how do I get there?
How do you get there? Because, well, I can't place a piece just here. Yeah. But you can say, like, where is my piece the most effective? Oh, if I can get a knight to one of those two squares, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, like, oh, hold it. If I go here with the knight, I go here, then I got both of them.
Right.
But I don't have this field.
Mm-hmm.
This field is not mine. So I simply say, all right, I'll take your knight. And he took my pawn, and he took back. Now here.
Right.
Now the problem is he already saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he cannot allow me to go to b. He can't allow my knight to go to b4 because you have to move the queen.
Right.
So they'll say, like, you do this, and you go castle. Well, good night.
Yep.
You're dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're going to survive this. So he took it. He took my beautiful knight. Well, like, all right, I take it, but you can't castle. Mm-hmm. No more castle for you. So he's like, I want a castle. Oh, let me go castle. All right, go. If you want a castle, go castle. So he went like, oh, I can castle. Are you sure that was a good move?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. How about this one? Like I said, I'm a bastard, and I love to let people suffer. Now, after this move, I went out of the playing hall like, I'm good. I'm going to walk around, wanted to grab a drink. And then I was just standing in the hallway, like the referee comes like, what's the result of your game? What's the result of my game? I was still playing. No, he already set up the pieces because he was surrender. So, yeah, like, all right, I of course graciously accept. Then I went like, all right, that's 1-0. Mm-hmm. So in less than 2 hours, we already had a point, and we eventually won the game. So after my win, I went like, yay! I went back home first to drop off my car. Mm-hmm. Went back on just walking. It's about 50 minutes walk max. Where had a big fat meal and then started drinking, and I can't remember everything after that one. It was a good party. Everybody enjoyed themselves because that was a true promotion.
Mm-hmm. And welcome, guys, to a different culture here. Obviously, this is not the norm, but
well, yeah, this is Dutch. This is Dutch. Like, if we want to celebrate, we celebrate. Mm-hmm. We're direct. We don't. Well, we're not that like mushy about feelings or everything else. Like, meh. Not really, unless there is a genuine concern about it. Yeah, okay, we're not heartless creatures,
right?
But we're a bit more direct.
Yeah.
And some people have problems with it. Some people don't. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit, culture shock.
Exactly.
And that's why the settlers before they went to America, not because just the persecution of the British king. No, it was because the children got too native. They were getting native in Amsterdam. So like, oh, we need to move. This is not going our way.
A little bit cleaner. I do remember going to London, ordering my normal iced coffee from there. It's like, I want it with cream. They give me whipping cream inside of the drink, and it's like, I meant the half and half cream. What's half and half?
Yeah, like nope.
Milk?
In England, milk. You want milk? Yeah.
No, I want it white. Oh, white. That's okay. So.
Yeah, you want a half and half soy?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is half and half? So.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, that's
true.
Yeah, culture shock is true. And remember that not a lot of things that Americans take for granted is actually here in America. Like, we don't have a Walmart. We don't.
Then how do you do your 2-3 o'clock in the morning Walmart runs?
We don't.
Oh.
We don't have night stores like that. Yeah, in Amsterdam we have a few, but that's because Amsterdam is the international traveling city.
Because even in Florida we have like a Publix. If you move out of Florida, you don't have Publix anymore. You miss those Publix subs. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, like I will eventually pick out a tournament in Florida and come visit you.
Oh yeah, no, we'll take you and get you some public subs.
And it will be probably like a trailer park episode when it's done, because every home is getting wrecked.
There you go.
I'm that kind of a whirlwind. So yeah, it was a good game, and he thanked me. It was very polite about it. Like, well, we had fun after that. We finally promoted to it. But yeah, well, there are sometimes like everything goes well, but sometimes you make an error in a game. You simply forget to calculate. Oh, what have I done? What do you do then? This is a question I ask you, Matthew.
Okay.
What do you do? You made an error in your calculation and you're behind. You're behind the material. What are you going to do?
What you're supposed to do. As opposed to what I do.
What do you do and what are you supposed to do? Now let's hear both answers. Let's hear it.
It depends. Normally what happens is I kick myself in the butt for the next 10 minutes. Why did I make this mistake? And then I start playing at a much higher level out of nowhere. Because I am a fighter. And that's actually the way you should be playing. Now, what you should be doing is having that mentality before move 1. Having that drive to not lose from move 1. If you do it after you've already lost some material, lost some position, it might be too late.
True. And I'm getting ready to admit, but that is actually driven by fear. Because you don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I'm gonna go all out. Yeah, it's fear, but also this is a little trick I learned, and I learned it actually at my job, is that there are no errors. There are improvement points and learning curves. And if you, it's like there's like a pushy baby. No. It actually has an effect, because if you start hammering into yourself like, oh, you got that idiot, how can you play this move? How can you do that? Oh, you're stupid, you're dumb. You're actually bringing yourself down. What you should do is like, okay, made an error. Will not make it again. Yep. What can I learn about it? All right, what did I not see? What did I not do? And then, all right, get your head back into the game.
Your microphone did it again.
What the hell is this thing?
It's just like big and burly out of nowhere.
Like,
it's always on those points when you're trying to make a big point. So, you know, it's...
Yeah. All right, I can't make a big point here then. All right, I'll make a few small points. All right, now, time for actually the kitchen sink.
Okay.
Now, of course, this is against a female player.
This probably bounces off your question, which is, what do you do? And sometimes you have to go all in.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go all in. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you say, all right, this is a position. I have had positions where I blundered my queen for a rook. But I didn't went all in. No, I built a fortress. And it held. So
you have to assess in the position. Yeah. Is it worth it? Is it possible? Or should I best
and also be honest against yourself. Like, don't try play hope chess. Like, oh, let's hope he does that. Or don't play hope chess. Be realistic. Like, all right, that attack is never going to do anything. If it's like it keeps pressure on the opponent and there is no visible. You can't calculate for yourself, like he can't get out of it. Then it may be an idea to go at him. Yeah. It's just like Tal said.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Tal said, take your opponent into a big black forest where 2 + 2 is 5, and there's only room for 1 to leave that forest. Yeah. So, but you're
a scary attacking player. However questionable by computer, who cares? You're facing a human.
I'm facing a human. Look, a computer is a good tool.
Yep.
Wonderful tool. It can help you analyze positions like, why is this move good? Or why should I play in this manner?
Right.
But it doesn't say like, oh, the computer, our overlord, it says so. And you're, no, don't. think for yourself and see if it. For why is that? And examine it.
Mm-hmm.
It will eventually get you stronger. Not just like, oh, computer says +1, that's good. Like, no, why is it good? Why does it give that value to that position?
Ask questions at all times.
Yeah, always ask questions.
All right, so what do we got going on with this one? Time the kitchen sink. All right.
Yeah, no, of course, C4 again. Yeah. E5. Well, this is a standard. Now we're going to one of the more difficult variations.
Okay.
This is actually a reversed Alapin. Mm-hmm. Well, most Sicilian players I know absolutely hate the Alapin. Because, well, oh god, not an Alapin, not this again.
Yeah. Too solid, too boring.
Yeah, this is a reversed Alapin. There are two ways of going about. There's D4, you take, and this one. Mm-hmm. And this is actually quite tactical. I found actually that with, of course, help from other tutors, that knight f3 actually works quite nice. And we're going to see this position again in our overview.
Okay.
So E4. And like there are ways like if he just does this, like, I just want to build a position. Yeah, like, all right, then play f6. Mm-hmm. And actually here it's like you play queen c2. And the reason why you play queen c2 is this field. This is you don't want to give this one up. Because if you do, like, oh, let's play d4, like, oh, I got the center. Well, hoop, poop, and kook, here it is. And now black gets what he wants.
Yep.
And even if you take and you try to, you have to go back and like, this is not a good position for white.
Right. He
has complete central control. So that's why this is actually part of the old Indian. Mm-hmm. And then like you just develop knight d7 and d4. And then you come with the rook to d1, b3, bishop d2, rook to c1. And you just develop it. You do not give him this field at any chance. But usually they play e4. Like, they are going to the attack. Like, okay. D4. Well, you have to take it. You can't just wait on the sideline. You have to take. Mm-hmm. Well, this is not the best line. The best line is this one. And there are games of Anand playing here as well. Well, quite with it's usually quoted here with a nice exchange sack. So there are a few nice games, but they're quite tactical. This is actually one of the best ways to play against the G3 systems. So she plays, and well, now, and here you can get the idea for white. What does white want to do? He wants to get rid of this pawn for this pawn, and just get the knight in here, bishop in here, bishop, and castle, and put everything on this pawn. Mm-hmm. I want to play against isolated queen's pawn. So knight f6, develop, bishop c5, bishop b6, and then knight c3. No, he's queen e7. These are all nominal moves. Oop. Like I castle, h6, and she doesn't like bishop g5, which is actually a dangerous threat. Like, all right, I need to put pressure. So queen c2. Another pressure. I take and take. Again, pressure, pressure, pressure. Keep building. And she eventually just said, like, I can't defend the pawn anymore. I'm going to give it up. Like, all right, thank you very much. So here I was like, well, I'm in a good position. Yeah. And then slowly but surely it started creeping in. Like, all right, e4, this is still good. Knight d4, like, all right, now queen to d3, let's annoy it. And I did not see this threat.
Okay.
This is where I made my first big error. I'm like, oh, let me put the knight on d5. It's a nice square. I attack everything. Yeah, but there is a problem. Here is, I already make the error, is I leave my e2 square undefended. Mm-hmm. I should have done something else, but there was actually nothing else to do. So I'm like, oh, no. Oh, crap. Mm-hmm. This is already the first one. Like, oh, no. Blah. And then you're already getting it. Like, it's like you're sitting at the board, like starting to curse at yourself. Like, all right, but I got a pawn. I got a piece against a rook. All right, it's doable. The knight is still a saving grace. Mm-hmm. So, knight e6.
You still have pretty aggressively placed pieces.
Yeah, but here comes I went in complete absolute rage mode, which isn't good. I should have lost this game. Let me quite frankly and clear, I should have lost this game.
Okay.
But I just went into like, all right, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you because I thought I'm going to destroy her. I didn't see that she had a defensive resource. I did not calculate. I missed this little move. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, come on. Like, oh. I was thinking, like, I'm going to get knight f6 in there. I'm not going to. That's what I saw. Never thought of bishop d4. Like, woo. So, all right. Let me play e5. Well, let's go all in. There's no way I'm going to get out of here alive if I don't go all in. Because let me get in the bishop. Mm-hmm. Now, annoys. Like, all right, take it. Please take my knight. Take my knight so I can take your knight, and then I might be able to save my position. No. She plays well. Like, oh dear, I'm rook to e8. Like, all right, I'm going back. Can't defend. No, knight f6. Like, all right, let me try this one. And that h pawn is actually my saving grace. In the end, it will help me. Well, and here she made an error, which is absolutely logical. She played e4, and I can understand why she played that. She should have played knight e6. This is a good move. Actually, well, Ulf Andersson actually said, if you can get a knight to e6, you can't lose, and he was correct in this position. Because after e4, I'm like, all right, I'm going to give a check. She forgot that little one. I'm like, all right. Now
it's a new game, yeah.
Yeah, it's a complete new game now. Season 5, like, all right. And here, I made an error. I should have gone here with knight f5. Just go for the king, like, and then h5. Get my bishop out of the way, and then just do this. This is actually holding black completely together. Like, you move even once wrong, and you're dead. Okay. But no, of course, I'm a greedy little bastard. I'm like, oh, I got another pawn. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, I'm going to attack. And I'm all right, trade, and attacks. Like, okay, well, and this is already, remember, we're getting into time trouble. Yeah. Because we have like 1 hour and 30 minutes plus 30 seconds per move from move 1.
Yeah, it was a very back and forth game. So
yeah. It's like, oh dear, it's going, and yeah, but here I'm like, I've had a few other things, but I'm not going to give you. And I'm like, I don't want to trade. It's just like I'm trying to find moves to get as soon as I can to the bloody 40th move. Mm-hmm. And here I made an error on the 40th move. I had time trouble. So this is a little one for the guys and girls at home.
Pause the video, YouTube.
Yeah, pause the video.
White move.
What is white going to move? What do you think? Take a look, Matt. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Let's put you to the test. I didn't get you the woodpecker method for nothing.
Let's see. I'm seeing these two guys are kind of hanging. And knight g4 looks pretty good. So does queen d8. So I'm kind of stuck to these two moves so far. Even queen check here.
Yeah.
I prefer looking at force moves first. So of these two, I mean, they might escape with king g7, and this rook is protected. So probably neither of those two, and just knight g4.
Yeah, that's the good move.
Okay.
I played queen d8, which was not good. No, I should have played, as you mentioned, knight to g4.
Okay.
This forces a move. Well, you can make an error here.
Mm-hmm. No, that's...
Mate. Or even if you want to prolong the suffering, you take, he takes, thank you for the rook. Mm-hmm. But no, this is where I should have ended it. But I did this. I'm like, I'm at my move 40. Oh, yes. And in the post-analysis, we're like, oh, crap. That was not a good one.
By the way, guys, in FIDE, if you're not certain, most of those games are of at move 40 to gain time on their clock.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's like you get another 30 minutes or another hour, depends on, but usually it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, well, she escaped, and now I play, but this is not that strong because, well, because the bishop is protected. I'm like, oh no. So we had a little back and forth. Mm-hmm. It's like she's trying to get out of the attack, actually, because I've been keep pounding and hitting her and hitting her and hitting her, and eventually she cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And the crack point is here.
Oy.
So I said the H pawn is going to be the one that's going to win me it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to get the bishop back into the defense, but that H pawn is barreling down like a full steam locomotive. Like, and she's trying, but no. It's just defend. She attacks, and then bishop e4, and it's game over.
Mm-hmm. No
so she should have won. There is, but eventually, yeah, she lost, and I got lucky. This is purely kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you do have to, accept, all right, I was lucky, and it was a wrong move because I didn't calculate. It started to go move 95 was already a bad move, and then this. It was not necessary to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept it like, all right, I need to accept.
You have a bishop pair, you have a pawn for the exchange. It's not the end of the world.
No, and it's like I can make it the idea like, all right, do I want to attack? Do I want to play this, give up the bishop pair, and then do this, and then start hammering this point?
Yeah.
Or do I say, all right, I'm going to accept this one? Accept the bishop pair.
Yeah, a bunch of playable.
And do this. It's still playable. There is enough to play, but no, I went cuckoo, and we went all in. But there are times that you're on the other side of it.
Okay.
And that's called holding the line. Because you can't give anything, and you have to start calculating. You've known this yourself, like you're playing against a good opponent, and he just keeps on pressuring and pressuring and pressuring. Like, oh, I got to hold, and how fast are we thinking? Like, I want to draw, I want to get out of here. Like, and that's where also the psychology comes into play. Like, you have to stick with it. You have to keep calculating.
Yeah. And
this is why most people, chess players, are neurotic and also perfectionistic. Because remember, you play like an entire full 4-hour game, so 2 hours per person, and like at 3 hours and 58 minutes, you make one error and all your work is going down the drain.
Especially when you're playing so perfectly up until that point.
Yeah, and then you make like one little move and like, oh, too bad, oh, so sad, oh, schade, Erdnussbusse.
That's why it feels better, you know. It's never a good feeling to lose, but to lose to someone who outplayed you strategically as opposed to just making a tactical error.
Yeah, and like if somebody is better and you lose, it's good. It doesn't mean you're a worse person or anything else. No, he was better. But
actually,
if he won,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you were first.
Okay, I was just gonna say that over the years that I've been learning chess and improving, I'm noticing that players of the lower levels believe that they would prefer to lose tactically than strategically. And then those of the higher level say the opposite. They prefer to lose strategically than tactically because tactics can be fixed. Tactics can be avoided. Strategy must be learned. Like, you have to be destroyed strategically to learn how, like, oh, this is what I'm not supposed to do.
There is a book from the only Dutch world champion of chess we had, Dr. Max Euwe. It's called Judgment and Planning, the Strategy of the Chess Game.
Okay.
Now, we have an updated version by Herman Grote called Chess Strategy for the Club Player and everything else in that series. But it tells you, like, the story is, like, you are playing against an opponent, you lose, but you didn't make an error, actually. There was nothing that was actually an error, but you simply lost. Like, this is the strategy. You have to learn. And strategy is also a lot of combining ideas, like things you find in different openings, like, oh, it might work here as well.
Yeah.
So it is a lot difficult. Strategy is difficult. The most difficult is positional playing. Pure positional playing, that is the most difficult. Like Tigran Petrosian was a very good one in that one. He was a real snake. He could call you up and just strangle you to death. But at times you have to also be able they have the mental fortitude to just take the hits, take it. That's why a lot of chess players find a lot of help in the martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to let yourself, all right, give me the hit. I've done my martial art for more than 12 years. At the moment I can't. COVID and a knee problem.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
You learn to accept the hits. You learn, all right, take the hit, don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eventually get better at this. Eventually you will grow and get better.
Yeah. So actually, before we move on, and I'm very sorry to have to say this right now, but we may actually need to put this into a part 2 video.
Sure. Because I'm rambling a lot.
Well, it's not so much that. I mean, it's great. We love extra content. It's a full hour so far. But it's also Christmas Eve, guys. And I'm actually squeezing in some interviews for Interview Thursday whenever I can. And I do need to get some dinner going and then head right back out to perform for Christmas Mass. So, Guy, let's go ahead and have some last words, and then we'll do the next 3 games on a follow-up interview.
Sure, no problem.
All right.
Well, actually, I've said everything I wanted to say.
All right.
Except a Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And enjoy the season.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays for whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year's as well. Maybe he'll come on in for a New Year's stream. We'll go ahead and see if he has some extra time.
I can make time.
Perfect. And we also have his own Twitch stream being set up.
Yep.
So go ahead and check him out, and go ahead and give us some tips as well if you know how how streaming works. I'm still learning as well as I'm doing these streams. So go ahead and do shout out Guy Bielderman.
Yep.
Whoops. I said Bielderman, but I'll put Bielderman. So thank you again for helping me out to squeeze you in here for Christmas Eve. I know that's difficult for a lot of people to, find extra time. So
yeah, no problem.
Also, time difference, guys. What time is it over there for you right now?
It's 1:15 in the morning.
1:15. So
in the morning.
He's dedicated as well, guys. It is excellent.
I'm a bit of a night owl, so it doesn't matter.
Perfect. All right, so thank you again, guys. Go ahead. What's up?
It should actually be yoo-hoo.
And he's great. Like, this personality is what we need to have on the stream more and more often, so absolutely I'm happy to have him again for part 2. So go ahead and stay tuned. Interview Thursdays, around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, roughly, depending on their schedule. And then Tournament Tuesday coming up as well. Go ahead and sign up on Palm Beach Chess, Elite Chess Team page.
Speaking of the Tournament Tuesday,
yes,
I will be there.
All right, so you guys can try your hand against him. Go ahead and say whether or not the English is good.
Yeah. Come at me, bro. 1v1 me.
You can play the monkey bird.
Oh, yeah. Well, after the next stream we do for part 2, we're going to do a monkey bird.
All right, that sounds good.
We're going to do a monkey bird.
We went pretty deep on this theory. It's really silly. But it honestly goes to prove how preparation can help you in chess games, regardless of whether or not it's a good or bad opening. I mean, if you are prepared more than your opponent psychologically, that can change the whole game.
If you're ready for a fight, if you're ready, like, all right, let's do this. Come, I don't care how much damage I take, you're going down.
Exactly. Like, let's take a respectable opening like the Evans Gambit.
Yep.
That's someone who, as soon as they play it, they know what they're getting into when they play it, and the opponent might not have expected it. And you're already winning on that move just because they weren't ready.
Yeah, how the hell do you think I got so many victories in the Alekhine defense? People play e4, knight f6, like, what?
Yep, exactly. And they play e5 without thinking about the overextension consequences.
Or how about this one? They think like, normal opening, so they pre-move knight f3. Thank you, pawn.
Yep. And there's your Blitzen bullet.
Yeah. I know. Just like Lafong with his bloody bishop h6. All right, but all fun and giggles.